When I was teaching full-time baking, my specialty were the incoming students who were in a kitchen lab for the very first time. I started everybody the same way. We used a 50-pound bag of Pillsbury muffin mix, cake, and brownie mix. I did this because everyone knows what the goal of a tender muffin, a cake, or a nice chewy brownie is. So while many people grumbled, I would tell them as soon as you master these 3 things, you can move on to a more complicated recipe. So every day I would watch and take notes on the students' progress. They would have to scale properly, work clean, follow directions, and then bake and cool and store their product professionally, properly. This sounds easy, but when you're working in a new environment with new equipment, it can be a real challenge. So I'm using this yellow cake gluten-free mix from King Arthur as an example of why it's a good idea to go back to basics. The goal for the gluten-free cake is the same as a regular cake. You have to measure the ingredients properly and follow the directions because they're a little different than a traditional cake. And if you were to buy all of the different ingredients, you would have to buy rice flour and xanthan gum and all these different things. And then when you put them together, you might not know if you're doing it right. So this is a less expensive entry way of getting into gluten-free baking that gives you success and can build in some internal cues for feel, flavor, and end result. So if you're interested in getting into gluten-free baking, instead of going out and buying a ton of different ingredients and sort of shooting at some sort of goal way in the distance, pick a product that you really like a yellow cake, and see how close it turns out to the real thing. Testing the waters is a smart way to go because when you're ready to dive in, you'll have a lot more success.